How's it going, and welcome to 4 Mile Ranch Show. A little bit different video than what I normally do. Hoping to keep this as short as possible, but it's pretty important nonetheless, and it does have a little to do with the 4 Mile Ranch YouTube channel. Now, all I was trying to do is simply post something for sale on eBay to sell it so I can upgrade, get a second camera that would be a little bit better, so that I have two nice cameras to provide you guys with a lot higher quality content in the future and for videos to come. And also, a second reason, a shameless plug here, I did start a second YouTube channel in which I'm doing some videography projects, both personal and some client projects on the side. So if you'll check that out, it would really mean a whole lot to me if you would like a couple videos, maybe even subscribe, help me get the momentum going on that. But without further ado, I'd like to briefly talk about what happened. I decided to waste a scammer's time as much as I possibly could. And I'd like to share that with you, as well as kind of their methods, so that hopefully you can raise some awareness, or at the very least not fall victim to a scam like this yourself. So I posted a Canon T6i. I was asking $475 for it. It's not the nicest camera, but it's definitely not the worst camera. It's one that I started this channel with, and it got me where I am, but I've just grown out of it. So I posted it for $475, and within minutes somebody offered the $475. That was red flag number one. Okay, so let's keep count of how many red flags there were, but that was number one. So for those that don't know, you have 48 hours to pay for something that you've won on eBay before the seller can then essentially open up a non-paying buyer report. This individual, red flag number two, it was 48 hours and I had not got a sale. I messaged him, I think, a total of 3 times through eBay in between when he purchased it and when it was sold. I happened to notice that this buyer sent me a message right after he had submitted the $475 offer. In that message, he was asking if I could shoot him a quick text so that he could ask me a few questions about the camera. But he had already bought it, so that's kind of interesting in itself. But I went ahead and I texted the guy, and that was a mistake there. For those that don't know, anytime somebody's trying to take you off of eBay, don't do it. It's definitely a scam or someone that clearly does not know how the eBay works. I text him, I say, "Good afternoon, I'm the guy selling the Canon camera and you had some questions. I'm sorry that I just saw this." He asked me some basic stuff, like asking if the camera's in condition. Even though I had a ton of pictures showing every detail of the camera on eBay, I tell him yes. And then he asked me to send him my PayPal email address, because he claims eBay was instructing him to do so that he could verify me as a seller, which again, totally false, completely false. Right after that, he asked what my final price was, and I have to tell him he offered $475, in which I accepted. I get this magical email from PayPal telling me that after I respond to this email from PayPal, which conveniently has a spelling error in the email address. In fact, he even tells me, check your spam folder, because I should be getting an email from PayPal. He texts me telling me that he's made a payment, and there's always some excuse that, hey, you know what, I know this is my eBay address, but I need you to send it here. He makes up a backstory that his partner needs this camera urgently for a project, even though he took 48 hours to pay. The scheme was that if I respond to this fake PayPal email with a tracking number, that my money would be sent to me. So essentially what they're trying to get me to do is put something in the mail, send it to them, and then I'll magically get paid. So I kind of drag my feet, and I do as much as I possibly can to kind of stall as long as I can. I let him know I got the email, and now he's urgent. He even sent me an extra $100 to overnight this package. I tell him I probably can't leave work. I make up a story that I'm working overtime and I'm trying to pay for medical bills for a young child that I have in the hospital. At this point, I want to test and see if I can make this guy feel guilty. Will he back out? Will he let me know what's going on? Or hell, even better, will he actually pay legitimately for this camera? I tell him I'm selling all my belongings to be able to do what I can. This may be their last Christmas ever, and I hope he understands. He doesn't care about that at all. All he cares about is that I send the camera. He says, no problem, send it tomorrow then. I'll expect your reply when you have sent it. And then I ask him, or how long will I have to wait until I get my payment? And he claims his friend of his has received it within 24 hours. I tell him that's great. I only have a few more dollars left than what the order will cost to send in the mail, and that I'm really worried about even being able to pay for my family. He just responds, okay. So at that point, I decided, game on. If he's gonna be that sick, that twisted, doesn't care, I'm gonna waste this guy's time, and I got a little surprise for him. So at this point, I decide I'm going to send him a tracking number, but it's not going to be a tracking number to the camera he thinks he's stealing from me. It's going to be a tracking number to poop. And I mean actual poop. Internet's an amazing place. If you don't know, you can do a scary amount of things on the internet. One of them being sending animal feces to unsuspecting scammers. There's a number of websites out there that let you pick a variety of animal poop. I wanted to be somewhat economical. I didn't go exotic, so I went with just some cow poop. But I knew that that website would also produce me with a tracking number, in which I could send to him and make him think my camera is on the way. So he texts me the next day after I've devised this plan, asking if I've sent it, and he's waiting for my reply. I then get the idea that I'm going to tell him that to ship it overnight it's going to cost $65. I figured that was fairly accurate, and I don't really have the money, so I'm going to need him to send the payment through PayPal Friends and Family, because you can't get your money back if you send it PayPal Friends and Family. You can't claim it as fraud. It's gone. So I'm hoping he'll fund his package of poop, but he doesn't quite fall for that. But I'm telling him, hey, well, when PayPal releases my payment, I'll pay you back, right? We're both honest people, so let's go ahead and do that. And he says, no, can't do it. So tell him, okay, I understand, and I go ahead and I send him the actual tracking number to his package of poop with the screenshot generated from the USPS tracking website. It looks legit because it is legit. He's actually getting this package. I said, hey, it's dropped off. I just left USPS, and he tells me to check my spam folder again. So I tell him I received the notice, and I said, thanks. And I tell him it was great doing business with him, and I hope I can do some more soon. And he wants to know if I have anything else left for sale. Ask him what he's interested in. I said I have many things I'm trying to sell because I'm trying to pay those bills. Times are tough. I'm really struggling. Again, trying to see if he'll feel guilty. He just wants to know what else I got. And I essentially sent him a screenshot of the camera that I was trying to upgrade to, which, you know, at the time I had, I'm a little impulsive. So I went ahead and I bought a second camera. So thanks, buddy. Because now I bought a camera that I actually didn't get any money towards. So another lesson learned there, guys. Make sure you got the money in hand if you're trying to sell something on eBay and buy a new toy. Otherwise, your fiance, significant other, wife, partner, yeah, they get mad. So I sent him this camera that I'm trying to sell. It's just a screenshot of another generic one on eBay. And I tell him, hey, I'll sell this to you for $475. You can see how much they go for, but I need the money fast. This guy obviously didn't catch that $475 has been the same amount this time, because again, he's probably scamming so many people. It's just absolutely outrageous. And if he would have sent me the $475, I was actually going to send him the Canon camera, because I'm not a scammer too. He says he's interested, but he'd prefer to go through eBay. He can't send me a direct payment. I tell him I'm only allowed to sell 25 items on eBay. I've already hit that limit. He still wants to go through eBay. We kind of go back and forth on how that's not possible for either of us. He says okay. I say okay. The next day, he then texts me wanting to know what's going on with USPS. And now he's accusing me of, you know, hey, it says you didn't ship the camera. And I said, oh, wow, let me check on that for you. So I try to sound concerned. He wants to check it. He's going to let me know. We're going to, you know, keep each other in the loop. I'm telling him then, you know, I wonder if they're just behind because of holidays. Because what makes this even worse is it's a few days before Christmas. Next day, he wants me to call USPS immediately. He wants to know why his package is not shipped. He asked me the next day. I've called them. I don't reply to him for the whole day. I wait for the following day, and I said, I have not received payment. It's been over 72 hours, so I don't answer his question. He responds the next day now saying that I was not credited because they found out that I didn't send it. I need to resolve it on my end before I can be credited, and I tell him it was shipped. He's like, well, that's why I told you to call them. He's wondering what's going on. At this point, I'm saying, hey, they got it. So it hasn't sent. I'm hoping to kind of freak him out a little bit that maybe his ploy isn't quite going to work. I said, you know, I confirmed the package is being delivered, but I went ahead and put it on hold until I received payment. It tells me to again check my Gmail and check my inbox and my spam folder because I should get a mail from them soon. Oh man, it's rest assured, like, don't worry, this can take up to 72 hours. We do this for the protection of people. And he wants to know if I've called USPS, and I tell him, hey, I will when I return from vacation. Remember, you know, I was on vacation trying to enjoy myself, and now he shorted me money that I thought I was going to have for vacation. So thanks again, guy. Then Thursday comes around, and I send him the tracking number and a screenshot now. I find out that the package is finally being sent, and good news, he's going to get it Saturday, December 21st. So he's going to have that nice new camera right before Christmas like he was hoping. So I tell him, hey, great news, you're going to get it on Saturday. And then I said I added security protection so that I can still cancel it in transit. I'm still trying to light that fire under his ass that I really want my money. And he's like, what do you mean? I tell him if I don't get the money by tomorrow, I'm canceling the shipment, having my camera returned, and he's like, let me know once they credit your account so we can both share positive feedback. Wow. Now he's a gentleman. So the next day, I asked him if he's able to send the payment, and he says, which payment again? That made me laugh. He remembers, oh yeah, this is probably the stubborn pain in the ass guy that I'm trying to rip off. Let him know I'm kind of on to him. He says, okay, go ahead. Once you get your money, I hope you send the package. So he's kind of bluffing. And I asked him, how do I know I'm going to get paid if I send something to you? I'm letting him know, like, hey, I understand this is risky for me. I'll have no leverage over you if you don't pay. He says, you will get paid. You have my word. I'm like, you pinky promise? He says, yes, don't worry. I said, okay, good. That's a really serious promise. I let him know the power of the pinky promise. And he says, I will not break my promise. I tell him I'm glad. I'm hoping that we can be friends, and I have more cameras to sell. I hope that we can do, future business endeavors. And he wants to know pictures of the camera I have for sale this time. And he wants to know how much I'll sell it for. Again, I tell him $475. He doesn't catch that's still the same original amount. I'm trying to sell him a camera for $475. So anyway, Saturday came around, and I got the notification the package had been delivered. And I told him, hey, package is delivered. I want to send you more cameras. Please let me know if you'd like more. He doesn't respond for a couple hours, so at this point I get a little discouraged because I'm hoping that he didn't catch on and now suddenly, game over. He knows. So I text him a few hours later saying, hope you enjoy my camera. Like I said, happy to do business with you. And he just responds saying, you are very stupid. You sound rubbish. Best grammar so far. And I just say, and you scam people for their money. And I knew you were a scammer from the start. And can you tell me why you do this to people? Are you sorry? I was at this point curious to see what he had to say, but no response. But now that I think about it, I think I'm going to send him a screenshot of our little discussion about the pinky promise. Obviously won't be able to include that in this video because I'm getting ready to go ahead and upload it for you guys, but check the comments below because I'll let you know if he says anything about the pinky promise. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you because it has some relevance to do with the channel, but I'm really just hoping to raise some brief awareness about the scams that are out there. So if this is one you were not familiar with, make sure that you are now familiar with it, and make sure your friends and family are aware of this because there are so many ploys out there. Long story short, just be smart, be safe. It's sad that people do this, but people do this for a living. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by the 4Mar Ranch YouTube channel. And like I said, please check out my other channel, Fernandez Films. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff on the side there where I'm just doing some more videography based things, not necessarily related to guns, but plenty of outdoor stuff will be there. So thanks guys, and enjoy 2020.